Parenting is hard enough, but parenting adults is a whole different thing. What if my grown child is taking advantage of my good heart? Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins, a family psychologist with about 30 years of experience, and during that time we've also raised our own kids. It's a little different being a parent to an adult, as you probably learned. I'm going to share two hard things and one easy thing that's going to help put you in a different position. When our youngest child turned 21, I turned to my wife Vicki and I said, "Honey, buckle up, because we're not driving." When your kids become adults, you don't stop caring about them. You don't stop loving them. You don't stop having opinions about what they should or shouldn't do, but you have far less control. And this is one of the hard things, giving up the control. I think what makes that a little easier though is that you don't have it anyway. So you're giving up something that you don't really have. You don't have the control. We need to give up our need for that. And this will put us in a very different position when it comes to our relationship. I've interviewed a lot of young adults who are so frustrated with their parents who keep trying to micromanage and control their life. And it causes them to be resistant or to put up barriers between themselves and their parents. I've even seen cases where they cut their parents off completely, which gets really sad and tragic when the grandkids start to come. Your relationship with your grandkids depends on your relationship with your kids. So there's a lot of reasons to get this in line. When I said that to Vicki, buckle up, it's also an acknowledgement that we are along for the ride. And it can be kind of a bumpy ride sometimes, so do buckle up. But enjoy the ride as well. You get to form a new relationship with your child who is no longer a child. This person is an adult with a life of their own. And you get to be on the sidelines as a fan, as a cheerleader, as an engaged observer, but not someone who's going to be intervening or controlling anything. We're going to give that up. Communication is really a foundational key to setting up a new, better relationship with your grown child. We're not getting into all the details about that in this particular video, but I've created a little cheat sheet for you. In fact, go to the URL that's shown on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/communication. What I've put together for you is a cheat sheet, 5 effective strategies that you can apply immediately in your communication. Go get it. It's going to help you with the communication. Go back to the title of the video for just a minute. Is my grown child taking advantage of my good heart? Here's the next hard thing that I'm going to share with you that can change the dynamic. You've both become accustomed to your generosity. Think about it. Through all the years, everything that you've provided for your child, and now they're an adult. Sometimes that sets up a sense of entitlement or expectation where they continue to expect that you're going to provide certain things for them. And not only that, you expect to continue to provide certain things for them. This dynamic sets up some of the conflicts that we now observe between parents and their grown children. So the hard thing is you may need to pull back a little bit on what you're actually providing. And this can be hard for both of you because of what you've gotten used to. At the end of the day, they are responsible for their life. You want them to develop the skills necessary to provide for their own needs. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to cut everything off, but the energy of that question we started with, are they taking advantage of my good heart, might indicate that you're providing more than you personally feel that you should be providing at this point. And maybe it's in their best interest to start providing some of that for themselves. Here's a couple of areas where that becomes relevant. Health insurance, for example. Most health insurance companies allow you to keep your grown children on your policy until a certain age. I think it's 26 for most policies. That doesn't mean you have to, but it might be something that you choose to provide. Here's the thing, you get to choose what you provide and what you don't. Just because they're used to it doesn't mean that you continue to provide it. Another area is with mobile devices or cell phone coverage. Those things sometimes carry over once a child leaves the home and they're still on your plan. They don't have to be. I'm not saying you should cut them off. I'm saying take a look at where you are with this. If you're feeling exploited or if you're feeling unappreciated, it may be that you're providing too much without any expectations. Now, I still prefer to go to the communication first, especially with our adult children, with our grown children. So use the communication cheat sheet that I already provided for you. Use that to get to some of the strategies that can help you with the communication part. But then be willing to do the hard thing to start pulling back a little bit on everything that you're providing for them. And there's reasons to do it and not to do it. So get some coaching and some input from other parents if necessary. This is one of the things that we coach on a lot at Live on Purpose Central. You can come over there and join us to see what kind of resources might be available to you. But whether it's that or something else, get some help with this so that you can get outside of your own head a little bit. One of my coaches shared with me something that really caught my attention. She said, you can't read a label from inside of the bottle. And look at how that might apply to your relationship with your grown child. You may not be seeing everything that someone else might be able to help you see in a coaching setting, for example. I promised you 2 hard things and an easy thing. Now, the hard things are give up your need to control and pull back a little bit on what you're providing. Those are the hard things. Here's the easy thing. Remember your job, which is to love them, no matter what and even if. This is where we get to put all of their choices and their lifestyle decisions and everything that's going on in their life, put that aside a little bit, and it doesn't even matter. It doesn't change our job, which is to love them, no matter what and even if. Now, do you see how easy that is? You're already doing it. Here's the reason that sometimes is challenging. If you're doing your job well, you will experience pain. Here's a professional psychologist predicting pain in your life, but it's true. If you do your job well, if you love them no matter what and even if, you will feel some pain, because it's the hardest thing on the planet to watch someone that we love unconditionally doing things that we personally disagree with, or that we think is going to bring misery into their life, or that is just not what we taught them or trained them as children. That's hard. Be ready to do it. We're going to give up our need for control. We're going to back off a little bit on what we provide, and we will do our job to love them no matter what and even if. You do those 3 things, I think you're going to change the dynamic quickly. You've got this. Hey, I'm excited to see you in a position where you can change that energy and that focus. I hope that feels good to you. There's more. The next video, cue this one up next, 5 things every parent of a young adult needs to know. We'll get into some more detail about how you can change this dynamic. You've got this.